10 of the biggest storyline fails in the history of Triple H's career. This is a list in which I have made numerous times. This is a list in which I feel passionate about. This is a list because as good as Triple H is doing for WWE right now as a head of creative for the main roster, for everything that he's done for the business, all of the good that he did with NXT, all of the good that he did with his actual wrestling career, there's a lot of bad. A lot of bad. There was numerous bad promo segments in which he continuously talked and added to. There's a lot of promos, a lot of wasted time. But without further ado, let's get into the top 10 biggest storyline fails of Triple H's career. At number 10, it is the Crown Jewel match where he teamed up with Shawn Michaels against The Undertaker and Kane in 2018 in Saudi Arabia. The Brothers of Destruction versus DX was meant to be a nostalgia spectacle, but it fell apart due to botches, poor pacing, and underwhelming performances. Keep in mind, this was the match that brought Shawn Michaels out of retirement after retiring in 2010, ironically, at the hands of The Undertaker. As many of you have already heard this story, I'll say it once again. The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, everyone involved thought this was going to be just a night off. It was a match that they could do in the back of their minds. It was a no big deal type of match, yet everyone except Shawn Michaels sucked. Triple H got hurt. Kane's mask fell off. Shawn Michaels was bald. It was a bad disaster. Number 9. It was the Authority feud with Daniel Bryan from 2013 to 2014. Although it did end with Bryan's big WrestleMania win, getting the World Heavyweight Championship, the drawn-out and overbearing Authority presence made much of the storyline repetitive and frustrating for fans. They would talk down to Daniel Bryan, a.k.a. Bryan Danielson. They would call him the B-plus player. They would do everything in their power to make this guy look little, look small, look less than, and it was ultimately Bryan winning the opening contest for WrestleMania 30 over Triple H, and then winning the triple threat involving Dave Bautista and Randy Orton to win the World Heavyweight title. It was pivotal for Daniel Bryan's career, and it was a pivotal win for his night on WrestleMania 30, but at the end of the day, it just drew out way too long. Number 8, Goldberg, 2003. Triple H's refusal to put Goldberg over hurt his credibility. His initial WWE run that lasted a year was pretty bad. Whether it was his feud with Triple H not wanting to put him over despite dealing with an injury at the time. That's where we got the biker short type look from Triple H at the time. Ultimately putting over Goldberg at Unforgiven 2003. It was just bad. You should have had Goldberg easily win at SummerSlam that year in the Elimination Chamber, do a rematch, and then be done with it. Triple H take time off. They didn't do that, though, and it definitely hurt Goldberg's credibility by drawing things out. Number 7, the two-man power trip storyline. It was him, it was Steve Austin. They were supposed to run things. First of all, yes, Triple H got injured. Yes, things did not finish exactly how they had planned. But up until then, that idea absolutely sucked. Taking Steve Austin, your biggest babyface, behind Hogan, turning him heel and putting him with Triple H, those promo segments, those segments in general, just the storyline overall was god-awful. No one likes this time period, in my opinion. Oh, by the way, it led to the invasion angle with WCW and ECW. It was just bad. And I know Triple H was away due to the torn quad once the invasion angle hit, but man, was this bad. Number 6, let's go back to 2003, his feud with Scott Steiner. Billed as the Battle of the Titans, their rivalry fell absolutely flat due to the lackluster matches and absolute cringeworthy lead-up segments, such as the infamous Poe-Down competition and the arm wrestling contest. Yes, that's what they were doing to build up this feud. Scott Steiner, he had came in after taking a year off from the wrestling business as Turner was just paying his WCW contract, might as well sit at home, collect a paycheck. And that's exactly what he did. And there was high hopes for him in WWE as he once was a great technical wrestler. But at the end of the day, I shouldn't say technical, but a great in-ring worker. At the end of the day, that did not transpire over to his WWE tenure and this feud, no doubt. Way through the list at number 5, it was the DX Reunion Comedy Act from 2006 to 2007. Fans expected a dominant DX revival after years of waiting for it, but instead got a watered-down, comedy-heavy version that relied on childish humor rather than compelling storylines. Look, the initial run as DX in 97 was absolutely money, and they only got better in 98 when they added more pieces to it. But Shawn Michaels, Triple H, they had this special quality to them in 97 that they could never, ever replicate. Some blame it on Shawn Michaels' Christian, rebirth. Some just think they were just not in the right headspace. I don't know what you could do with these two other than put them together. Don't do it. It's just bad television. Number 4, the McMahon-Helmsley era overload. In 2000, while initially compelling, this storyline became overexposed and did so very quickly, with Triple H and Stephanie monopolizing their TV time and sidelining other talent while taking up multiple opening segments in which we could never get time back. Yes, the initial idea was spot on, but I just felt like they drew it out. And then, of course, Stephanie aligned with Chris Jericho in 2002. That was later down the road to feud with Triple H. That wasn't any good. But this era of 2000, while yes, WWE arguably had the best creative in company history at this time, this storyline watered down completely. Number 3, it was Booker T's loss at WrestleMania 19 in 2003. After a racially charged build-up, Booker T seemed poised to dethrone Triple H. However, the clean loss after a single pedigree angered fans and undermined the story's payoff. Look, it's one thing to get heat. It's one thing for Triple H to make those types of comments, yet if you never get your comeuppance, if you never get your revenge, you have to really, really question the merit of where you're going. I understand this is storytelling. I don't necessarily agree with the racially charged comments, and that was a bad move. I think it should just be about Booker T being a legit challenger to his world title. But the fact that Triple H did not put over Booker T at this event is an absolute crime. Number 2, the Reign of Terror from 2002 to 2005. As World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H, who, by the way, was gifted the championship in 2002 from Eric Bischoff, he dominated Monday Night Raw, bearing various rising stars. Booker T, as I mentioned, RVD, Kane, Shelton Benjamin, countless others. The decision to repeatedly book himself as a champion, it stunted the growth of others. It kept others down when they could have easily been brought up, and especially at a time where WWE lacked top baby faces to feud with Triple H. That's the thing. You have to give and take. You have to put people over in order to work with other top tier stars, and Triple H wasn't willing to do that. Number 1, and I would have this list be a disservice if it was not number 1, 2002, the Katie Vick angle. One of the most controversial storylines in WWE history. Triple H accused Kane of murdering Katie Vick, who was his believed to be girlfriend, followed by the infamous and tasteless segment involving a mannequin. Triple H pretended to fornicate with this mannequin. It remains the lowest point in WWE history, behind carrying or going forward and keeping the Over the Edge 99 pay-per-view event going after Owen Hart had passed away in the ring. It was a disgusting act. It was a disgusting segment. There was nothing good about it. It was absolutely horrific.